What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Before we get started with the video today, I want to take a minute to say thank you to everybody that has watched, liked, commented, subscribed. You all mean the world to me from the bottom of my heart. I started this YouTube channel a little over a month ago. I'd done stuff before that, but I'd never really gotten serious about it until about a month ago. And in this process, there's a lot of learning for me. I'm learning photography, but I'm also learning YouTube, the ins and outs, video editing, how the algorithm works, and all that kind of stuff. So I appreciate everybody that's taking the time out of their day to check out my channel and interact with the videos, whether it's through a like, comment, subscribe, that kind of stuff. I also appreciate anybody that's taking a look at me on Instagram or Facebook or Discord, any of that kind of stuff. That's always very much appreciated. Want a quick note about this video. I'm still learning this whole videography thing, which is challenging along with the photography at the same time, but it kind of goes hand in hand, same kind of thing. So I'm filming on my Google Pixel 5, and normally I film with the front-facing camera, and it usually comes out pretty good, especially in the good light. Unfortunately, I didn't realize how low the light was today, so it was a little bit fuzzy and grainy in places. I'm going to try to fix that as much as I can, and it's a learning opportunity for me moving forward. Um, how to film in low light, I guess. So, but yeah, just once again, thank you very much for clicking on the video. If you enjoyed, hit that like button. That's always appreciated. Like I said, comment, subscribe, and enjoy the video.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Least Professional channel on YouTube. How's everybody doing? So before we get started with this video, I'm going to ask you to go down in the comments and let me know what your favorite picture of all time that you took was. And if you want to share it, you can head over to our Discord, link down in the description below, or my brand new Facebook page. Link is also down in the description below. Check those out. Share them with me. I'd be interested to see them. If you don't want to join either of those, that's fine too. Just let me know in the comments. Just tell me about what the picture was and where you took it. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're out at the Xenia, Ohio cemetery. I don't think it's the main city cemetery. It's kind of small for that, I think. But we kind of found it just driving around back roads looking for cool stuff, and the sun was going down. So with the sunset coming on, I wanted to try and see if I could find a good spot. I wasn't sure how it was going to show up. The sunset never actually materialized into anything great, but we found the cemetery, which is kind of cool. And got out and decided to take some pictures. And the very first picture I took, I realized something. It's really dark out. It doesn't look quite as dark on the video here, but it's getting really dark. So what I wanted to talk about today was shutter speed in particular. So I know I already talked about the exposure triangle, where we talked and highlighted all three different things. So I want to try to do a video talking about each one individually. So today we'll talk about shutter speed. Now the reason I'm talking about shutter speed is because one of the ways you can brighten up your images, especially at night, is by decreasing the shutter speed. So typically if you're in the middle of the day, you want to have a pretty high shutter speed. You want to go as high as you can, usually 1/500th of a second, 1/1000th, or even higher, depending on what you're trying to capture. If you're trying to capture something in motion, you want to go 1/1000th, 1/2000th, 1/4000th, and some cameras even go up to 1/8000th of a second. And that's great for sports, birds in flight, anything that you're trying to catch that you want to just catch it still. But conversely, if you're trying to get something in low light conditions, like where we're at tonight, it gets a little bit more difficult because you've got to bring that shutter speed down, and now you're talking a 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, or even longer shutter speed. So the shutter speed for the picture that I just captured, which is looking off in the distance right here, aiming to kind of get that tree and the cemetery in the background there. So the shutter speed for that image, I wound up doing a little over 3 seconds. I think it's 3.2 seconds or something like that. So essentially what that does is it leaves the shutter open for a longer period of time. The problem with that is that if there's any motion when you're taking the shot, that motion winds up getting blurred, because essentially what it's doing is it's capturing the light of the object, and I'll use my hand to kind of demonstrate here. It's catching the light of the object here all the way until the shutter closes. So what it's basically doing is catching all of that light as if it's in a row. Now, this can make for some really cool effects, and I think I'm going to try to get some of those effects here in a little bit, and then I'll share the image at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around for that. One of the coolest things you can do with this is if you turn the shutter speed up to, say, 10 seconds or 15 seconds, and then you stand out in the open. So if I were to stand out here, which I'll do here in a little bit, and take your cell phone and turn on the flashlight and just wave it around in circles during that entire exposure time. You stand still and you wave the light around in circles. What that will wind up doing is catching an image of you with what looks like just a circle of light around you, because it's capturing the light at every point. The opposite of that, of course, is if you're at 1/1000th of a second, if you do the same thing in the middle of the day, it will catch your arm stopped exactly where it's at. I'm going to take a picture like that here in a few minutes. I'm also going to try and get some more pictures. There's not really any statues at the cemetery. The last one we were at, it was really windy. There were some cool statues. I did get some pictures of those, so I'll be sharing those as well. I may or may not share some of that video. The wind was just kind of, I didn't like the way the wind was blowing, so we'll see how it comes out. But even if I don't, I'll share the pictures either here or probably on Instagram and Facebook. So keep an eye out for those, and Twitter. So keep an eye out for those. All right, so let's see if we can get some really cool shots right here. It's a 3-second shot, and it's still at 400 ISO. All right, so in order to get 100 ISO, I had to go all the way to a 10-second shutter speed, which is insane. You can tell now it's kind of starting to get even darker. There we go. That's a little bit better. So yeah, I'll put those pictures in just so you can see, and I'll add some pictures in as well so that you can see the difference between, I'll turn the shutter speed up and I'll crank the ISO all the way up to 6400, and then I'll throw that picture in, and right next to that I'll throw one in with an ISO at 100, just so you can see the difference in what 6400 ISO does to an image. It's not terrible, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it adds some graininess to the image, and I think you should be able to notice in that when I add those two pictures in. So take a look at both of those pictures. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for this video about shutter speed. Like I said earlier, make sure you go down in the comments section and let me know what is your favorite picture that you've ever taken. And if you want to share it, you can share it in the Discord, you can share it on the new Facebook page, both linked in the description below. Or you can share it and tag me in it on Twitter. I'm on there as well. So if you want to share it with me, I would love to see your pictures. That being said, leave a like if you like the video, if it helped you out. Subscribe if you want to see more of this more content like this. And other than that, see you all next time.